What up, Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. I know it's been a while, but as you sit back like me and watch others YouTube and listen to the news, you just become a little frustrated, you know? It's not that, you're mad at the people who make the news or talk about it, write about it. You're more mad about the organization for basically putting our business out in the streets like they've always been doing. And it happens annually, don't you think? I mean, we always seem to have a big name player whose contract is up, and there's this big hullabaloo about should we sign them, should we not sign them, and the negative stuff starts coming to light about everything in their past. It's like the goodwill just got thrown out the window when it comes time for you to get paid, Up until that moment, you are being praised by the organization, how much they love you, how much they needed you. But come time to cut that check, you had that suspension back in 2 years ago. Oh, you got injured that one game, and it's just, why does this happen to nobody else but the Dallas Cowboys? They're the only team in the league that can't seem to just go out there, sign their players, and move on. No, we got to make a spectacle of it every year. We can't just sit back and not be in the news. We must be the headline every single day. You must talk about us. We have nothing to do during the day, but we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys just because. No real reason, but just because. It's on the docket. Every hour we must say there's something. And most of it's clickbait. I mean, think about it. There's nothing going on in the NFL, mainly, anywhere, but we're always finding some sliver of news to talk about, even if it's bull. And 99% of it is bull. That guy going on saying Dak may never play again, his ankle may be falling off, and all that bull. Come on, man, just stop. That's a bunch of clickbait, and I didn't even bother looking at it. I'm just listening to other people talk about it because, I'm on other people's YouTube channels. So if they hadn't even said anything about it, I wouldn't have paid attention to it. But I like to hear their opinions. So, the guy's got a radio platform, and he can go out and say whatever. And he doesn't have to back it up. He doesn't have to have any sources. You could just go on anything and just say, I had a little birdie tell me, and this is from a source, that this is what I know, this is the insider, I know something nobody else knows. And you'd believe it just because I'd be on the radio or TV. And that's not real journalism anymore. It's not. Everybody just wants the hot take, the clickbait. Nobody's really sitting in and doing the actual legwork anymore. The guys who are the ones you don't see putting out that kind of stuff, unless they're debunking everything their compatriots are doing. You don't see Mike Fisher going out here throwing hot takes left and right. No, because he knows the truth, and why talk about it? It's clickbait. He's going to tell you the truth. Other things going on, players getting released or up for trades. Everybody's going to get linked to the Cowboys. So far, I haven't heard hide nor hair about the whole J.J. Watt thing. I mean, it's great in theory. It's a nice little story. I, for one, am in the boat of, if you got 33-year-old Tyrone Crawford sitting around making $8 million doing nothing, why don't you get a 31-year-old J.J. Watt who's going to give you something? And the fact that, he wants to stay in Texas, and you could probably get him because you're going to be a contender, I hope. It's a good team. It's a defense that's in need of a rebuild, but it can get there a lot quicker if he was added. And as I talked about before, with all the money that we keep throwing at random free agents in the bargain bin that never make the team, why don't you scoop up all that money and put it in one player? If you're not going to get a defensive tackle or a top safety, just go ahead and get J.J. Watt. Boom. That takes care of your defensive end rotations with Lawrence, Watt, Gregory, Smith, if you can keep them, or Dorrance Armstrong, and whoever else you want to draft. That's a great rotation. You keep them fresh. And then you can use your draft capital to fill out the rest of the holes of the team. Same thing if you want to do that for safety. You can go ahead and get a top-tier safety and worry about the draft for all the other positions. You know, you just want to think about what you have on hand, salary-wise, draft-wise, to make a real competitive team instead of just saying, you know what, we're going to draft 5 players on defense and we're going to spend money on 5 more free agents in those same positions. Because you know what inevitably happens. And this was a problem with the last regime, is that when you go out here and you draft these guys, and then you got the Joneses out here getting these other free agents, that's basically pushing these rookies farther down the depth chart to where you're never going to know what they got because you already threw money at a free agent to take his spot before he even got on the team, which is stupid. So you're already hindering your own team. You're not giving, like Trayvon Diggs. You thought he'd have had the shot if Cheeto didn't get hurt, or Anthony Brown didn't get hurt, or Jordan Lewis didn't get hurt. No, they'd have had him sitting on the pan waiting until they put him in the game and found out he's pretty darn good. Let's actually start the guy, you know. Who else? Tyler Biadasz. They wouldn't have played him if Joe Looney didn't get hurt. They found out, okay, he's a pretty decent center. He got experience, and we can see what we got there. Gallimore, he'd have never saw the field if those other guys didn't get hurt or waived. The tackles alone, Brandon Knight and Terrence Steele would have never, ever seen the field. And it's like, why'd you pick these guys up if you basically put them on backups to backups and were never, in theory, ever going to use them? So you wasted their time and you wasted yours by trying to train these guys and knowing they're just going to get cut before they ever see the field for us. It's like, I don't understand the thought process of always bumping your rookie class for the older vets. Now, if you can match them, that's great. But your philosophy has always been, we spent money on these guys, and because we paid these guys, they're going to start over anybody who's probably younger, fresher, more talented, just because we had to pay them more. And that was the argument last season that I had of playing Andy Dalton over DiNucci, Gilbert, Cooper Rush, is that the only reason this guy is starting over any of those other guys, if we're already losing, is because you're paying him more. And that was stupid. It's nice he went out there and won you some games, but did it really help anywhere in the long run? No. All you did was push yourself from a top 3 pick to a fucking 10 pick. You didn't do anything by having them in the game. You might as well gave the other guys some looks to know what the heck you have for the future. But Cowboys never think about the future. They always think about the here and now. So if you're going to go here and now, pick up the phone, place a call to JJ, place a call to some of these free agents that are out there. It's not going to kill you to pick up the phone and just ask them as their agents, what are you looking at? What is it that you want? Especially if you're going to only target 1 or 2 guys. You're not targeting 5 to 10 guys to come in to do something that probably will fail. You know, it's just front office. Y'all got to think sometimes. I know y'all want to be penny pinchers and be freaking cheap on everything, but if you're in the win now mode, now's not the time to be cheap. Stop it. Worry about the salary cap hell after you win a Super Bowl. But, you know, that's all I really wanted to get on this about is the constant clickbait that we have for Cowboys that nobody else has. And the fact that there are free agents out there with names, granted, that we can't look at, we can't approach, but the Joneses just decide that they don't want to look at those guys. They like to bargain basement shop. And even some of the bargain basement guys can be names, but there's a reason they're free agents. That's all I'm saying. But that's all I got for y'all today. Don't want to take up too much of y'all time. I'm in about day 3 or 4 of straight up rain every single day. I'm surprised I'm not sick, thank the Lord, because this is ridiculous that I'm not getting any dry spells except when I'm inside of a building. But I hope y'all take care, stay safe. This is VA Dallas Cowboy fan, out.